Hello, good morning. My name is Ramandeep Kaur and I'm going to present my presentation about the comparison and contrast between two change management case studies. The introduction is study the changes in two organizations, Facebook and Snapchat. Facebook is trying to implement a change. Snapchat has implemented the change. The success or failure of the change will be analyzed. Use of different change models. The organizational context is Facebook is trying to enhance the use of smartphones, develop a new technology that will read the minds of the users, add the users to directly send text messages or email without typing, decrying how addictive and attention sapping smartphones have become was an expected way for an executive at Facebook, a company that profit of your attention to open a talk, but that's exactly how Regina Dugan, the head of Facebook's innovation, snuck words. Building it started her presentations at the company's developer conference F8 on Wednesday. Smartphones has have been a powerful force in the world, but they have had some unintended consequences, she said. The next content is they have hired a brain computer interface engineer and a neural imaging engineer. Their aim is to create a system that will be capable of typing 100 words per minute, which will be faster than what a normal person can type. Um, it will be typed directly from the brain. No, according to the Facebook, it's developing technology to read your brain waves so that you don't have to look down at your phone to type emails. You can just think them. Facebook has assembled a team of 60 people, including machine learning and neural prosthetics expert to enable such a system. Facebook is currently hiring a brain computer interface engineer and a neural imaging engineer. Its goal to create a system capable of typing 100 words per minute, 5 times faster than you can type on a smartphone. Straight from your brain, it sounds impossible, but it's closer than you may realize. She highlighted the examples of a woman with ALS who had a pea sized implant that could pick up on signals in her brain to allow her to type 8 words per minute using the power of thought. The Snapchat has failed to develop a community, and it did not focus on small creator but instead established their own in-house creative team to develop their platform. They have developed a discover page which failed to attract more content creators. The company which burst onto the scene with its augmented reality features is unique among social media platform. It has never developed a strong community of individual content creators. Instead of focusing on smaller creators, the app has strictly pursued established broadcast companies or their own in house creative teams to develop long form content on their platform, or ostracizing a creative community that other platforms embarrass. The page was loaded with the sponsored advertisements and news sources instead of content from the creators. This led to the platform losing creator as they started using Twitter and Instagram. The main reason for Snapchat to fail in its change process is that they did not focus on the needs to the independent content creators. Despite Snapchat's intentions, the structure of the discover page make it very difficult to find independent creators other than stories from friends, which users had to fight to see. The top of the page of dominated by news sources and sponsored advertisements. Regardless of the content's popularity, material from independent creators is far down on the page's endless scroll. Compare and contrast difference in the change management process. Smartphones have become necessary for the users. Facebook is coming up with a sensor that will be able to detect the brain activity and accordingly use the smartphones without much interaction from the users. Instead, Facebook plans to develop non-invasive sensor that can measure brain activity hundreds of times per second at high resolution to decode brain signals associated with language in real time. No such technology exists today. We will need to develop one. Facebook is looking at using optical imaging, using lasers to capture changes in the properties of neuron as they fire to glean words straight from our brain before we save them. If these signals can be read, they can be transmitted silently to other people. If the thought that a company that makes almost all of its money from harvesting your personal data could also have access to your thoughts in is scary. That's because of it. Through this technology, the users will able to send a text message or an email without taking out their phones. Although it is just a thought right now, according to the people involved with this process are confident that they will be successful in bringing the change in the future, said Dugan. It may be possible for me to think in Mandarin, and you feel it instantly in Spanish. Dugan acknowledged there were a lot of hard problems to solve first, but said success matters. So if we fail, it's gonna suck. And however, there's that's one of the risk associated with the doing work that matters, the risk of failure, and that slightly terrified feeling that comes with it is the price we pay for the privilege of making something great, she said. Snapchat failed to get creator and a customer base as it didn't emphasis on fulfilling the needs of the independent content creators. The changes made in their discovery page also failed to keep the creators hooked on to the application. They focused on sponsored advertisements and news as it wanted to gain more revenues in the short amount of time. Problem with the creative visibility are even greater in Snapchat's designer community. Numerous artists have accused Snapchat of stealing their work and refusing to share revenue with the artist if if their lens is used for advertising purposes. Although the app has launched strong creators, they have survived despite the Snapchat corporation, not because of it. Half-hearted outreach has not helped creator. In May of 2018, Snapchat finally had creator summit with the purpose of reaching out to its neglected creators, but some creators criticized the event as infactual and more beneficial to the company than the creators. The critical evaluation: Facebook can implement the quarters eight step model of change, as it will enable them to slowly incorporate the change. This model will help in successfully implementing the change, as it has an extensive number of steps. Slowly cooperate the change and help the employees get adjusted to the process of change. The employees are prepared for the change gradually, thus leading to minimum resistance to the change. And the A steps are establish a sense of urgency, create a guidance collision, and develop a change vision, communicate the vision for buy-in, empower board based action, generate short term wins, never let up. And the last one is incorporative change into culture. Snapchat has implemented the Levin's three-step model: unfreeze, changed, refreeze. This model is not successful when it is practiced in the real world. The process of change is very fast and sudden. It doesn't give enough time to employees to get adjusted to the change. Snapchat introduces to too many changes in their model and operations too soon, which confused with their employees. Different Sufficient time must also be given in the refreezing stage, which Snapchat failed to give. Thus it faced more resistance of change from the employees. The limitations of the theory is it's difficult to freeze a planned change in the system. It's relevant to incremental and isolated changes and ignores the transformational and radical changes. It ignores the role of power and politics in an organization. It is seen as a top down management driven approach and ignores situation regarding bottom up change. The conclusion of the presentation is the studied the two changes incorporated by two companies, Facebook and Snapchat. Facebook have chance to attending success with their chance change process, as they will slowly implemented the change in their operations. Snapchat had a failure in their change process, as they implemented many different changes together and did not give them to their employees to adjust to the process of change. And this is the reference list of the presentation. Thank you.